things you do to me,
things you do,
it drives me crazy,
crazy.
It feels like a
movie. Can this be love?
Say if you feel me, you sexy lady, the way you feels good to me.
Can this be love? Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Can this be love? Yeah, yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Anyway, we're just single. My name is Shelly Williams. I am single, never been married. And who cares about the status right now? Let's keep going.
I am Alicia. I'm single, I'm celibate, I'm saved, and I'm sexy.
Amen.
I'm better known as Mr. Goodnight. I am single, but I may have a candidate. Well, I could be lying.
I am Christopher, aka the Gentleman, and I am married with children.
Okay.
I'm single, no children. I'm an actress, and I wouldn't mind having someone to study my lines with.
Well, I'm Danielle, and I am single. And we all know that's because I haven't been able to find the one that can handle it.
Yeah, handling all this, Tommy handling all of this. Like,
I know, we thought we were going well, we couldn't handle it.
it's an answer.
We couldn't line me out.
It happens, you know. I'm definitely in a relationship, but man, I didn't really know how hard a relationship was. Yeah, when you really put it down, they're hard, difficult. Why would anybody do it? I don't know. So that's why our topic is life after divorce and long-term relationships. Now on our panel, a few of us only know about long-term relationships. I have never even had a long-term relationship. The longest relationship I had was 4 years, and that was off on 1 year, off 1 year, on 1 year. I have never been able to maintain or keep anybody longer than a year because I have no patience.
Well, you know, I found that very interesting too because you've been engaged several times.
He didn't last.
But most people, to get to the point where they say that they're, ready to be engaged, they've already been in that long-term relationship. They've already, to get to the part where you say, I'm willing to say that, to agree to marry you, the actual betrothal period, that's the contract. That's the marriage contract right there. When somebody asks you to marry and you say you will, for me, you forged it. The wedding is just a technicality of piece of paper. So you made the commitment then. So that's just really, really interesting.
Well, technically, when I made the commitment, when somebody asks you, you say, will you marry me? If you say no, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So in my head, I was thinking, I'm saying no. In my head was no, but I said yes. And I didn't wear the ring. I was just like, God, help me get out of this. Why did I say yes? And I didn't mean to say yes. I just didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Did you burn it out?
You on one knee. I was just like, yes. Everybody's looking, and it's like, oh. It's like, what are you doing? It's like.
So why not just be honest and be like, no, I can't right now. I'm not ready. Why not just be honest? If you want guys to be honest all the time, why not just be honest and be like, I don't think so.
I should have. I'm not saying I'm perfect. We all imperfect. In a perfect world, I would have said no and been honest. But my world was just like, God, he's here. We actually lived in the same house. I already did the whole house thing. We're already here, and I was just like,
Don't hurt a man's ego like nothing else.
I just want to figure that. Anyway, at the end of the day, he ended up leaving me anyway. So there you go.
I would say this, the long-term relationships that I've had, they ended because they wanted to get married. Because then, when they got to the part where we started discussing marriage, I really recognized, you can't handle all this for the duration. So that's why I say, I never said I do, because I don't. Because I don't. So really, when they got to that point that they started talking about marriage, it was like, you ain't the one, like for real, because I really don't see you like wiping my butt when I'm 70. I really know that you don't have it in you to handle it. I'm sorry, I don't care. 25, I'm worried about what's going to happen at 70. Because you know what? I'm in the hospital and you think I'm like being a drama queen. I don't care if I'm in here for ingrown hair. I'm in the hospital.
Well, I'm going to go TMI. The one I was engaged to, I actually had to. I had to put him to the test. I couldn't walk. I fell down the steps, had to get surgery. And he literally had to wipe me. No lie, he had blocked me and everything. I See,
maybe there's a whole, it's a whole bunch of things to
I think
it.
what you say about duration is like, if you're 35 or 40 and your life expectancy is 82, it's like, what am I going to do for the next 42 years with this person? This same cookie, as people say. Can you really deal with that? And I think that's what worries me about getting married. Like, can I do the duration? Or will you do just enough to get me, and then now you're going to get relaxed? I don't have a favorite spot on no couch. I don't have a favorite mug in the closet and all that kind of nonsense. I want to know that fire's still going to go, and then you get a little worried about the future. Duration.
So you want somebody that's 51st date. So you want somebody, you ever see that movie 51st date? You want somebody to redate and then it starts all over. That's what it seems like. What's your longest relationship? What's the longest you've been in a relationship?
8 years.
Oh, you did that?
And I do not want a person to stop doing the things to get me. Because you relax now. Oh, I got him. He's not going nowhere. That's a lie.
Well, you know, it's funny because the marriage I'm in now, this is the longest I've ever been in a relationship. Even my first marriage, this is the longest, and even my wife, this is the longest we've ever been in a relationship.
So how long is that now?
We've been married we've been together since 06. We got married in 07. She's never been
7 years.
7 years.
So you can do it.
6 years. Well, we've been together 7 years. We've been married for 6 years. And I understand what you're talking about. You know, sometimes you gotta. It's like, you know how you work, and every year you gotta evaluate with your boss. That's what you have to do in a marriage. You have to sit down. Okay, well, this past year, what was the issue? Okay, well, you wasn't doing this enough. Okay, well, you wasn't doing this enough. And you both have to be mature enough not to catch an attitude. Well, forget you. I ain't never got to do it again. Because, you know, people do that. You know, but I always used to tell females, if you don't see yourself marrying this person, or even guys, if you don't see yourself marrying this person and you know that's your goal, why are you with them? Because only thing you're doing is you're blocking for the right one to come on. So if you're in a relationship and you don't see yourself marrying this person and you know you want to get married, be by yourself until that right person comes along.
You are actually one of the divorced, and Carol, you are divorced, right?
Yes.
So we're talking about life after divorce, and I think that, you know, your struggle after divorce is up one day, down another. You want to boo, you don't want to boo. Who wants to move on? Tell us about your journey after life after divorce.
I mean, life after divorce, it's been difficult, it's been confusing. I've had a lot of insecurities from my marriage that I still carry for a really long time after. And I didn't realize, because for such a long time, I just didn't want to date. I didn't want to be bothered. And I felt like I was strong and I was over it, I didn't need a man, I was good. Now I look back at that, about a year I guess, and I see myself and I'm like, I was terrified. I was so scared to get hurt, so scared to have anyone close to me, that me pushing everybody away, me being good, me not being worried about nobody, really was what my ex-husband left me with. Because I was scared, I was terrified, I wasn't open.
How long were you married, Carol?
We were married 3 years, together 6.
You were married 3 years, together 6. How old were you got married?
Just 21.
And your parents let you do that?
What was that?
Your parents let you do that?
I was half 21.
No, I don't care if I'm 40. My mama would have something to say about it. Seriously. I'm just saying, it's like, you know, and I just say that because you were so young. Like, my friends and family at 21 years old would say, you're not old enough to know who you are. How you know who you're going to be with somebody else? So I just wondered, because I didn't know.
I didn't have family, no, there wasn't that voice there. I have no family in this country. And I agree with what you said. I didn't know who I was. And the biggest struggle after divorce, for life after divorce, was my whole my personality, my life was me with him. It was I was 21, I was a baby. And then all of a sudden, you're 24, you're 23, and I'm like, wait, but who am I apart from him? And when that started happening in my mind, like, who am I, just me? That was the biggest struggle, finding out and letting myself make mistakes.
So now how long have you been separated and or divorced from him?
A year and a half.
Is it separated or divorced?
Separated.
Okay, are you divorced legally? divorced, it's really, this is the first time Carol's been Carol. That's what I'm hearing. So it's, you know, it's not just, you know, where you're coming from after, like, I think that for myself, were I to get married and divorced, I'd be in a different place because Danielle Patterson is already Danielle Patterson. But if you're still in the formation stages of your life and still determining what you want to do and who you want to be, and you're already married to somebody at that point, I think that afterwards would be doubly hard because you're dealing with hurt and frustration as well as
Who am I? I had to define myself. I didn't know who I was. And I thought I did before I got married, but I really didn't. And then I came out of it and I'm like, who am I? Who am I single? Who am I as a woman? Who am I as an adult? Who am I as a businesswoman? Who am I by myself, on my own? What is my passion? What do I live for? What brings me the most joy? And
we're gonna find out more. We're gonna find out more of who Carol is, and we also have some guests here today: Kevin Leitner, Alice Cole, Fran Cole, and Mr. Joel Austin. And they have been divorced, and some of them are actually married again. So we're gonna find out more about them and how they're dealing with it. Maybe they're going through the same issues as Carol. And we never even really talked about Chris and how I couldn't even remember that he was married before. So here you go. And this is something we know about our own people. But anyway, this is Single on a Saturday Night. We thank everyone who helps us put the show together. We're talking about Austin Fine Photography, DJ Room on the radio every Tuesday at 8 o'clock with the mixtape show. We go on there every fourth Tuesday, right?
Yes,
we hold it down. We do hold it down there every fourth Tuesday. And of course, my jewels today, Alvina Designs, sporting all the designs right there, ADDesignGroup.com, making you into a diva. I'm really happy right now, happy, flowing. And of course, I'm feeling it. Mona's makeup, by Lala. You know, how you feeling today?
well, you know, I'm always feeling fabulous because my girl had issues, Alicia, she holds it down for me. She understands. If it doesn't sparkle, it's not Danielle. So you have to, I have to visit a Big Pink Boutique on 120 South 60th Street on a bi-weekly basis just to keep my girly thing going on.
That's right. This is how we do it. Single on a Saturday. When we come back, we're going to hear from our Kevin Leitner. So he wanted to come from a male perspective. And please, let's keep it brief. We don't want to be long and drawn out, but just talk to us about from a male perspective. How long has it been? How long were you married? All your details.
My name is Kevin Leitner. I've been married for 12 years, divorced for 4. And when I got into my divorce, when I got my divorce, you know, everything came into place. Like, it was a good marriage, a good 12 years. But after that, everything started to fall in place. I'm talking about job, you know, careers and all that stuff. But don't get me wrong, I mean, it was a good marriage, you know, I still love my ex-wife. And the new relationship is on and off. You know, I had a relationship for 2 months here, 2 months there. And every time I do get into a relationship, it's like marriage come about, you know, from the other side. You know, I'm not ready for it again. And I had a question for, what's his name, Chris? When your first marriage, how long did it take you to get married into your second marriage?
Actually, I was separated in 2000, got divorced in 2004, got married in 2007. So it was, you know, after the final divorce, it was 3 years. You know, it was 3 years.
Yeah, and I've been divorced before. Now, do you think I'm, like, if a new relationship come in and I'm not ready for marriage, like, I'm not really looking for it again, but it always come up.
If you're not ready for it, don't do it. You know, that's one thing a lot of people do. They jump into a relationship when they're not ready. And the only thing that happens is it makes it worse. If you're not ready, if you feel like you need to be single for a while, be single for a while. But the one thing I will say is make sure you tell the women up front, this is not what I'm ready for right now. If you're ready for it, then I'm not the one to be with right now. You know, because I want to chill and get myself together.
My question I wanted to ask you was, how was it, and I always ask people who were married or divorced this question, it's a 2-part question. How was it the first time you went out with somebody other than your wife? And if you got intimate with somebody, how was that first time?
The first time it was like it was kind of steady. Like at my divorce, like you said earlier, divorce party. Yeah, I met a girl at my divorce party. It was like that. I mean, it was, you know, the chemistry, you know, everything. You know, everything was together. Then, you know, I started seeing her But then it was like, she was going through something, so, we was dating and stuff. Then, I had another girl, we was dating, nothing intimate, but, just friends. And then we just got together. So with this last girl, she kept bringing up marriage, and I couldn't take it, it seemed like I was chickening out on her. She was like, oh, you're not ready, that's why your wife left. It's not about that, it's just about, how I feel inside,
I can honestly say, from that comment, she was very immature. She wasn't ready for marriage, she was ready for the wedding.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
Right.
Being ready for the wedding and being ready for marriage.
Let's talk to Mr. Alex and friend, who actually have a great story. They're actually divorced from other folk, but they're married to each other. Tell us what the transition was like. Tell us about. I don't understand how people can be married so many years and then just break up. I don't get it. Like I can't understand. Like you already know what they're going to do. You already know the bad habits, the good habits. You know so many things about a person, and you've been together so many years. So why break up? You've already weathered all the storms. So why break up? Because tell us about the length of your marriage.
Okay. Hi, I'm Alexander. My wife is Francine. So glad to have her. All right, not to delineate too much on before my marriage. I was married for 18 years. I was in the relationship with my wife for 18 years. Married actually for 19. Separated for 1 year. And I was divorced for 3 months. Got married on Christmas Day after the final divorce.
Oh, wow.
Now, the 18-year marriage, like this young man here, was a good marriage. And see, many of you that haven't had lengthy marriages cannot understand how someone like us can say it was a good marriage. It was a good woman, but you grew apart. Okay, I can't say there was anything wrong with this woman that I could beat her down about, because there's not. She's a good woman. I lacked perception when I got married. I more or less did a lot of things to improve my image. And like I said before, without revealing some of the old bones, sometimes you get married for the wrong reasons. And I realized maybe 5 years into that I had done each one of us an injustice. But because of religious convictions, I stayed and stayed and stayed another 13 years. But one thing I can tell you, none of us knows God really all-inclusively. Not me, not you, not your pastor, not your bishop. But I do know this one thing about him. He is a merciful and a forgiving God. He does not marry any of us to our mistakes. Now, we get sidetracked when we know that all sins are forgiven. But you can't get divorced. That's the misnomer about 50% of Christianity. You can't get divorced. Why can I be forgiven for all my sins and all my mistakes? When I openly realize now I lack perspective, I didn't listen to him, he didn't help me choose that. And most of the things that you do wrong, you chosen to do it. But how about if you did something less than get marriage or other than get married, and he married you to that? So no, you're in that now, you deal with that, you stay there, you make that work. That's not the loving God I know. I don't know him to marry you to your mistakes. I don't care which one you make when you acknowledge it. So why stay and continue to cause each other harm when we meant to be the best thing for each other, and all that's coming out of that is no good.
And so now you have a new wife, friend. She's wonderful and everything. So I want to find out from the audience. You're hearing everybody's story. How many people in here have been married? Really?
Anybody longer than 10 years?
Longer than 10 years?
Longer than 15 or 15?
Well, I still was in there, but my wife died of cancer. So I still was in there.
Well, when we come back, we're going to go to a break, and we're going to find out more about anybody in the audience. I know that, what it's like. Some people have a hard time moving on. They were blessed to move on and get together and have a nice, happy couple. But we're some single folk up here. We're still looking for a happily ever after. We ain't even get a happily once yet. What's going on here? They don't know what to do. We still looking for one. Can I get one? Can I get one? We're going to go to a break, and we're coming right back. Single on a Saturday night. Life after divorce, but creating new beginnings. That's what All right, see you on a Saturday night. Saturday night right here at 7165 Lounge, and we thank everyone who always helps us put the show together. That's Jerome Austin. Dang, I should put your whole name out there, my baby. DJ Rome, 88.1 every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Austin Fine Photography, and of course, Almeida Designs, AD Design Group, designing one diva at a time, and I've been diva-fied.
Oh, well, you know, I always had to thank Alicia over at Issues, because she helped me work mine out, because I got a little problem. If it ain't bling, it ain't for me. Oh, they call me MC Sparkle. That's one name, MC Sparkle.
MC Sparkle.
MC Sparkle.
Oh, we had come up with a rap for you.
I know, but hey, you know, we always forget somebody. We gotta give shout out to JT and IDE Production.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. Well, we're talking about life after divorce, creating new beginnings, and we have Mr. Joe Austin here. You know, a lot of millions of people, families are affected by divorce. We're talking about the children, and he actually deals with the children aspect of it. I think you have like a program that deals with children, and you actually, I know you were married all this time, but I hear you're divorced. A little birdie told me, the Austin over there told me that you were divorced. You have a microphone?
Yes, I do.
No, I can't see.
Hey, no, Shelly. My name is Joe Wilson. I'm president and CEO of Daddy University. We do parenting education for males, and we also do co-parenting for couples, usually after divorce or after separation. I've been married for 12 years, divorced for the past 8 years. And it's a wonderful thing. I think divorce is the best thing that marriage is awesome.
No, this is the thing. This is the thing. And you know, we're awesome. And you know, well, I mean, we're the best. I mean, it's single on Saturday night. So, and all we hear about is, you know, the marriage, the greatest thing ever, is the greatest thing ever, is fantastic. If it was so fantastic, the divorce rate in the United States would not be above 50%. So, clearly, maybe people are marrying the wrong people, they rush into the marriage, they're married for the wrong reasons. So, you're the first person that has ever come to our show that has told us that the single life, the divorce life has been great. So, I want to know what you mean by that. That makes me excited to know that maybe I'm not crazy and not in the masses for running out to say I do when I don't.
Definitely explain, kind of like the gentleman said and the lady said over there, when you get married, a lot of people, almost like this brother said, we do think about the ring. We do think about the glory of it. We do think that it will change our lives, and it doesn't. It is not like the Lord of the Rings. It doesn't have magical powers. We think about these horses in his wedding. What happens is that you go through a transition of yourself. You find out what makes you positively happy. You find out what makes her really happy. And sometimes you find out the things that make you happy, you're not the same things. And after divorce, you really start to mold yourself, find the courage in yourself, the beauty in yourself, and you blossom. Now when I date, I don't really date, I kind of interview. I'm trying to find the best thing for me.
I'm just so happy to hear this, because you know, sometimes I sit here and I just really feel crazy. I just do. So I can't put it any other kind of way. Like, I feel crazy because you get all this, what's wrong with you? Well, why can't you settle down? Like, look, I like my 5 men running away.
My question is that more typical in a young marriage versus getting married when you're in your 30s or 40s?
Oh, I think that you still have to go through the same thing.
You still go through a molding process. A lot of times we don't really get too deep into, let me just say this. When we're young, we talk morals and we talk values. A lot of times other things, earthly things, have taken us away from our own personal morals and values. Exactly. And then marriage, I have to say that every single problem I had when I was dating my ex got worse. And a lot of people feel as though that the problems are going to get better. If you're drinking 2 beers on Sunday when you're not married, it turns into a 6-pack later. So don't think that it's going to go away. What it made me do is actually have conversations with a mate, conversations with somebody I would love to marry, and ask about these certain things. I don't have an issue asking about credit now. I don't have an issue asking when was your last HIV test. I don't have an issue with that.
Now, do you think if you never got married, would you be asking these questions now, or if it was a brand new marriage? Like, that marriage taught you, I guess, what to look for in the second marriage, or what to ask the questions that you ask, everything to interview for the second time.
I think that it can happen without being in a bad marriage, but a lot of people blame the other person. I was in a good marriage. I had no problem. So I don't have any issues like that, but I had to start looking at me as a person and not saying, well, she didn't cook right or she didn't do this, or all men are dogs and stuff like that. If you find a lot of times you find yourself alone, it's usually because you haven't resolved something within yourself.
That's true. I know for me, it was like a great learning process too. Like I needed to go through it, and I feel like I'm a much better person because of going through a marriage that fell apart, going through divorce, going through all that, and having to be by myself. Do you feel like it was a necessary step in your life to grow, be the man you are now?
My children tell me now that I'm a better person, I'm a better father. And I don't think, and I make sure that they know it's not because I'm not with their mother, because we actually, me and their mother are still in a relationship for the rest of our lives, because we have children together. It's not that, it's just that I've come to know some things, and I've come to be happy about some things. And in my marriage, I stuck to the rules, which is whatever she wanted, that's what I did. Now I'm able to say on a date that I don't like bowling, and I don't want to go bowling with you, and it should be all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to play serious with Shelly now. It should be all right.
We now have people who told us about how they love their ex or their ex-wife, and so we had somebody in the audience that had a question about that. So now we're going to go out and Tamara, you had a question.
Yeah, my question actually went back to Kevin. I'm not going on the words that you said. I'm going on the meaning behind the words. When you say you're having trouble dating after your divorce, and then you open up that segment with saying that I still love my ex-wife. Define that for me. Are you still in love with her, or is it just a mutual respect of love? And if you are still in love with her, that could be the reason why you're finding it so hard to move on in another relationship.
Let me explain. For 12 years, we built something together, and we had children together, and that's why I had that love for her. I didn't say it was a bad marriage or a bad divorce. It's just that, I still love her, as a person. She was a good mother, a good wife. And the divorce is all my fault. People point blames. It was my fault.
Okay, so with you taking all that blame on yourself, did you convince yourself now that you just have a mutual respect of love for her when you are actually still in love with her because you know you screwed up the marriage? So what would you just say?
Yeah, you can say, now, if I get a second chance around, would I do it again? Yes, I would.
Would you do it with her?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
you still in love with your wife, basically.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
So you're out dating, go find your wife now.
What's amazing, because a lot of people I know, they say, well, if you still in love with y'all still love each other, why y'all not together? A lot of times you can love somebody, but you cannot be with them. Like my ex-wife, I still love her as a person, but we are better as friends than we are married, or than we were married. We have a 12-year-old son, a 22-year-old daughter, and a 21-year-old son. She's always going to be in our life. I was surprised because one day we was walking and her and my wife embraced each other. Hey, how you doing? I'm looking like this ain't the type of dream that I had. But, it's cool. But it's just, sometimes you get married. I was 24 when I first got married. I was young. I thought I wanted to be married. And like the brother said, because I wanted to do the right thing. But when you grow and you get older, you mature. Your mind, things change. You like certain things. You don't like the same things at 35 as you did at 24. You know what I'm saying? So when you grow, a lot of times you grow apart. Not saying that you get immature or she get immature. No, y'all just maturing two separate directions. And you're able to still love one another, be cool with one another. You just can't live with one
But
another.
see, I got an issue now. We're going to go to a break, but I got an issue. The whole dating someone after this divorce and y'all still loving these people. Hey,
Like, do you tell them that you still in love